sports are really important vehicles for relationships.
We have purpose. We have a why. We bring people together. We connect.
I feel like God is our greatest supporter and our greatest coach.
Welcome to Rabbi on the Sidelines. This is Rabbi Erez Sherman from Sinai Temple in Los Angeles, where we speak about the intersection of sports and faith. Right now in the calendar of sports, we're at a very unique time. We have the NBA season that just opened up. This evening, I'll be in conversation with Ramona Shelburne and Yaron Weitzman of the new book, Hollywood Ending, speaking about LeBron and the Lakers here at Sinai Temple. But we are also in hockey season. We are in NFL season. But most importantly, for those in Los Angeles and in Toronto, we are in the World Series. It is an international competition between the Los Angeles Dodgers and Toronto Blue Jays. And so what better way to talk about sports and faith than not to talk about the players and not to talk to the managers and not to talk to the broadcasters or not even talk to the fans. But let's talk about two rabbis in the cities where the World Series is happening, Los Angeles and Toronto. More importantly, my best friend from rabbinical school, Rabbi Jarrod Grover from Beth Tikva Synagogue in Toronto. Rabbi Grover, good to see you.
Rabbi Sherman, great to see you too. What an exciting time to be in the world of synagogues for baseball fans. We're going to combine those two worlds together, aren't we?
Yes, we are. And for those who are listening, our regular listeners, this is where I learned everything from Rabbi Grover, only for the Torah, not in the sports, because we're going to start with the competition and name the starting lineups for our favorite teams. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. But let's actually dig into the depth of the intersection between sports and faith. That's what we talk about on this podcast. And let's talk about what is this moment of intersection between sports and faith when two rabbis are speaking about the World Series of their hometown teams.
Well, it's really hard to not be involved in all of the excitement in a city like Toronto. You know, you're blessed in LA with some great teams. Toronto has a reputation of being a city where all our teams constantly build up drama and then disappoint us in the end. A few years ago, the Raptors surprised everybody, and it had been years since Toronto had won any championship in any sport, and the whole city was electric with hundreds of thousands of people on the streets celebrating when the Toronto Raptors won. By the way, I hope you're going to have the GM one day, not the GM, the owner of the Toronto Raptors, Larry Tannenbaum. I hope you'll have him on your podcast one day. He's a wonderful guy and a real leader in the Canadian Jewish community, Maple Leaf sports and entertainment. God bless him. But listen, 1994 was the last time the Blue Jays made it to the World Series. And you know, there's a whole thing with Shohei Ohtani and the Toronto and the Blue Jays were very upset that he didn't sign with us because we were trying to lure him in for a long time. So the excitement in this city is electric, and any rabbi who's got his pulse on what the community is thinking and doing has to be caught up in the excitement and energy in Toronto right now for our hometown baseball team. So
as you know,
for our synagogues to pretend like to be walled out from all of that and to pretend like it doesn't affect us at all doesn't make sense. So we're going to bring some of the energy and spirit that's out there for our baseball teams into the sanctuary and get everybody excited, and do so. You'll tell everybody a little bit, Erez, by highlighting values that are important in our faith.
So I believe it was Rabbi Simon Greenberg, but I know Rabbi Solomon Schechter also said this, that if you are a rabbi in America, he didn't say Canada, maybe he meant North America, you must be able to speak about baseball from the bima.
Yeah.
What did he mean by that?
Very, very famous line. I remember learning that and asking myself, what the heck does that mean? Especially, I wasn't a huge baseball fan. You know, I'm from Montreal. Montreal lost we lost our Expos when I was a kid. I used to go to games when I was a kid.
You even took me to
we lost our baseball team, and then I stopped following the sport. You know, Montreal's hockey all the time. So what did he mean when he talked about baseball? But it's really an insightful comment. I think what he was trying to say is just what I said earlier to you, Rabbi Sherman. You cannot wall off your synagogue from the reality of people's day-to-day lives. And there are many, many connections that I can reflect on throughout my rabbinate that are made with people because I can speak about things other than synagogue. You know what I mean? If I know we're trained to talk about Torah and to talk about the laws and to talk about the traditions, and our whole lives are immersed in Judaism. And there's a lot of people, for whom Judaism is important, but not that important. And if you can't talk to them about other stuff that's going on in the world of culture and entertainment, you're never going to build a bridge. So listen, your podcast proves that a lot of people are drawn to Judaism, but they do it through the lens
Yep.
sports that you've been able to bring to them. So I'm a big fan of what you're doing here with the podcast. I'm very grateful that you had me on, very honored that you had me on, because I'm not the first guy you think about. I'm an overweight rabbi. Him on and speak about entertainment and sports. I'm not the first person you'd think about, but I'm grateful to be here and grateful what we're doing this initiative. So that's what I think, Simon Green, you were talking about.
One of my first guests was actually through you when you said, Dan Schulman, a member of Beth Tikva Synagogue. And Dan Schulman, first and foremost, now is the announcer for the Toronto Blue Jays. But he also used to be the voice of Sunday Night Baseball. And when I interviewed him, actually it was during COVID, I played a clip that he was the voice when Osama bin Laden was killed that night. It was actually Yom HaShoah, and he was doing the game. And I brought up the clip. He announced to the American public that Osama bin Laden was killed. And he said, in one year, it was said, Garcia parted first, and he threw it to blah, blah, blah. And the other year, the producer was saying, announce to the American public that something in history has happened. And so maybe share about Dan Schulman and what he means to
As fantastic as Dan Schulman is, if you knew his father,
blessed memory,
and
yes.
A blessed memory, and if you know his mother, who comes to shul every Shabbat, she's in my congregation every Shabbat, the late Arnie Schulman and his mother Ellie Schulman. These are the nicest, kindest people you'd ever meet in your life, and it's no surprise that they created a mensch like Dan, who I think both of us can say he's such a wonderful mensch of a human being, and every success he has is a success for both of us and for our communities, and he's just going to go from great to greater to greater to greatest.
And when we sent this to him, he said, "You know who I'm rooting for." So
of course you know who he's rooting for. But he's a wonderful, wonderful guy, and grew up in my congregation. So that's part of the reason, part of what gets us all excited here about this World Series.
And so let's talk about the wager, because that's what we're going to be doing.
Right.
And we're going to be doing a little bet between rabbis about victories, and we hope that each side is correct. But
it's also about me humiliating you, Rabbi Sherman, in front of your congregation. I mean, we have to make this fun for everybody. If it's just happy and nice, everybody will tune out. So I think you are a beloved rabbi, and it's time you be humiliated. Just like we're going to humiliate the Dodgers. We're going to humiliate you.
The autocorrect came as humility, not humiliating. So
I'm sorry about that. I guess that's more of a rabbinic.
But I do want to talk about the tzedakah piece, because I think that's the most important piece, how sports can actually bring people through bridge. Yeah. At the end of the day, one of the cities is going to win.
But just before you get there, explain how we're going to humiliate each other.
Exactly. So
not with the charity. I'm going to force you. Say it. When the Dodgers lose, what are we going to do?
When the Dodgers win, Rabbi Grover will be wearing this beautiful jersey on the bima for Adon Olam. It says Dodgers. And when or if the Blue Jays win, there might be a Canadian showing on our bima here in Los Angeles.
So after Game 4, when we destroy you,
wow,
you're going to wear a Blue Jays jersey at Sabbath services at Sinai Temple in LA. I might just fly down to see it. On the bima at Sinai Temple, I want everybody to come and watch Rabbi Sherman in a Blue Jays jersey at Sabbath services, and I might make him sing "O Canada." I haven't decided yet. I might make him sing, and he's going to give a sermon about being humble in defeat.
And so, first of all, I want to talk about the personal story, because, as I said, I grew up actually a Blue Jays fan growing up in Syracuse, New York, where the AAA team was Syracuse, and all those great Blue Jays of the past in 1994, I watched them as minor leaguers.
Wow.
So we talk about humbleness and humility. I watched these young kids become these major leaguers. But let's get to the tzedakah piece, because we don't have so much time. And at the end of the day, each of us are going to choose a tzedakah of our choice in our respective city, and we will both give some shekels and some dollars to that. What does that mean to you, that this can be done through sports?
I think what we're saying is that we might be cheering for different teams, but our core values are the same. And this is fun and it's great. But if we're going to do this through the lens of Judaism, we have to remember that the fundamental principle of Judaism is to love your neighbor as yourself. And despite the fact that we might wear different color jerseys and be rooting for different color teams, we both believe in helping the needy, in giving to the misfortunate, in providing healing to the sick and strength to the weary. And I don't know which charity you've chosen. I haven't chosen which charity I'm going to force you to give to again when the Dodgers lose, but it'll be a local Toronto charity, and your US dollars are worth a lot of money to us. So I'm going to pick a great charity here in Toronto that gives to the needy, and I'll make sure that you get your tax receipt for your donation, Rabbi Sherman, that you can use in the IRS.
I want to ask you a question that I actually asked Dan Schulman and many of the
Sure.
sports broadcasters about the escape of sports. We're in a very historic time with the Jewish people in Israel. We were both celebrating on October 13th with the release of the 20 live hostages. Every single day, we're waiting for another hostage that is not alive to come back for proper Jewish burial. And then all of a sudden, our favorite teams are playing a game. How do we reconcile that? And what do we do allowing us to both enjoy it while also understanding the heaviness of the moments outside of a stadium?
Erez, to me, or Rabbi Sherman, to me, sports teaches us so many important lessons about life. What it means to be on a team, to rely on other people, that their success becomes your success. Sportsmanship. This is why it's very important for both of us that our kids, I love your kids, you love my kids. Our kids played basketball together this past summer, and we're not teaching them just skills like how to dribble a ball. We're teaching them how to play nicely together and how to get along and how to compete and shoot hoops and do it with positive energy. And I think one of the great lessons of sports is miracles can come from totally unexpected places. This is why I love sports so much, is because I know there's a lot of people in the Dodgers world, and guess what? There's a lot of people in Toronto too saying we don't hold it. Toronto isn't going to stand a chance. We're going to get destroyed. I know, dude. We've all been watching sports for a really long time. Disappointments happen, upsets happen, miracles happen. You never know what to expect, and I think that fundamental lesson we just saw. Rabbi, we just saw how that happened in Israel.
Yes.
Did we think that 2 weeks ago that we were going to have all these people gathered, leaders from countries that Israel used to be enemies with?
Mm-hmm.
All these people gathered. Jared Kushner would be sitting face to face with Hamas, signing an agreement. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that can only be described as miraculous. So you never know what the world is going to send you. You never know when things will change and turn upside down. You don't know it in sports. You don't know it in life. You don't know it between nations. God and salvation comes from anywhere. It's a fundamental lesson of the Hebrew Bible. Like a pin, like a needle out of midair. That's how salvation comes.
It's
and
interesting
we saw it there, and we're going to see it on the field too when Toronto kicks your rear end.
It's interesting when the hostages came home, some of them who were huge fans of Maccabi Tel Aviv and Maccabi Haifa, the helicopters actually went around the stadiums. But the first thing that these live hostages wanted to see was their favorite teams. And even when some of the hostage released back in months ago, they were honored by their teams when their teams were actually playing. And to see not only sports be an escape, but sports be a way of healing.
Totally.
And a way of joy has been something I would never have thought to connect in my own lifetime.
Rabbi, a lot of people pray in synagogue. I guarantee you more people are praying in sports games than in houses of worship.
So that's what
people who don't even believe in God. I see them praying to God while they're sitting there. And
so I always ask people involved in the sports world, which is not necessarily us, we're on the periphery, but we love sports. What does prayer look like in sports, or is there faith in sports? So how would you answer that to a quote unquote religious audience and also an athletic sports audience? Is there faith in sports?
if you believe that faith is just me talking to God and having a private conversation on the top of a mountain with me and him and not having any concern for anybody else in the world, then there's no faith in sports. If you believe that faith is about loving your neighbor, about moral lessons, about seeking truth and righteousness and feeling the bonds of friendship and mankind and learning how to get along with people you disagree with, and that's what I believe faith is, then I think sports is so at the core of what it means to be a faithful Jew. And I think it's very, very easy to find parallels and to have a fully faithful life in churches and synagogue that is complemented by a faithful life, cheering for your favorite team and playing sports that you like to play. As long as it's done in a healthy, happy, good way. Listen, I got members here. They're sitting right in front of my desk. Missionaries of the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. I'm giving them a tour of the synagogue. Have you guys ever did you see the Holy War game last week? BYU versus the University of Utah. Don't talk to me about prayer and sport. There were more prayers at that game. They stopped the whole game to say prayers for their favorite team. So the Latter-day Saints know it. The Jews know it. Faith and sports complement each other. They go together. They are not. They're not they don't need to be separated into different worlds.
And so, besides the wager, let's conclude with an actual
prayer. May the Blue Jays. Excuse me.
Well, we'll do that at the end. But we're not going to do a prayer. We're going to ask for a bracha instead. A blessing for each other's team. A blessing for each other's team. That's going to be hard for us to do.
Man, come on. You want me to bless your team?
Not
bless
the team.
The Dodgers.
Bless the experience that we will be having this week.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if I could bless the Dodgers. Wow. Hey, may what we're doing, this is my blessing, may what we're doing inspire more people to give and to care and to root for a world where we can all play on opposing teams politically and spiritually and love each other nonetheless.
Amen. I just have to give a blessing right back. May we enjoy the experience. May it bring us joy from the ups and the downs that the players will experience, that we will experience as fans, that our communities will experience as a Kehillah Kedoshah, as a sacred community.
Amen.
And, may whoever wins, may we all have the ability to accept the outcome with joy and with strength and with courage and with friendship, and most importantly, of shalom, of peace. And the last question.
You say that prayer in the name of the great Shohei Ohtani. I know.
And you and Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
That's right.
How many games is the series going to? That's the last question.
I told you, 4 games. It'll be
4
quick.
games.
Listen, I've got a trip to Israel on November the 9th. I need this. I need to be here to watch you in that jersey. I don't want to be watching from Israel. So
you know what?
I want this wrapped up quickly.
Perhaps the tzedakah will be going to Israel with you on that trip. Maybe we'll do that, and LA Toronto jointly supporting our brothers and sisters in Israel.
I love it.
Amazing. Well, we are looking forward to an amazing series with the Toronto Blue Jays and the Los Angeles Dodgers, and Dan Schulman calling it for Toronto Sportsnet.
That's right.
Amazing experience. Let's make sure that we all tune into our communities. Show up at shul this week. Root for your teams. Root for our own team in the Jewish community. And we're so excited that my good friend, my best friend, my roommate from Yerushalayim and Jewish Theological Center of America, Rabbi Jarrod Grover, Senior Rabbi of Bet Tikva, was with us in Rabbi on the Sidelines, where we speak about the intersection of sports and faith.
Thank
Rabbi
you.
Grover,
love you very much, Rabbi. Love your whole family. Love your parents. Love your kids. Sending you only good things across the border to the land of the free. And sadly, it will be the land of the losing team.
Have a great day. We'll see you next on
Take
Rabbi
care.
on the Sidelines.